You all right?
Yeah.
I was talking with somebody a little earlier, and they said, I like the fact that you talk about politics and write about them from time to time. And I mean, politics is a kind of a loaded word. Really, to me, politics is just the interaction of people and how we allow ourselves to be governed. And it's really up to us, particularly in this democracy. Sometimes it gets a little out of control. There are some people in this country who have more people and more power than other people. But it's always been that way when you think about it. This is a song that was inspired by kind of thinking back to the little town I grew up in, eastern Pennsylvania. Grew up in the 50s, and kind of came of age in the 60s. Really came of age in the 60s. That's when Freebo emerged, 1967. Felt so right. And I got to thinking, when I was writing this song, I got to thinking about the way things were in this little coal town. It was really a good example of melting pot, very Eastern European. And there certainly were prejudices and there were differences, but it was an interesting time that people were trying to get along. And Republicans actually talked with Democrats. And a worker could get a fair wage. And unions were getting stronger, and civil rights was coming into being, really. And in my early years with Bonnie Raitt, and before that, especially with Bonnie, really got me inside the whole women's liberation thing. It was very interesting to be with such a powerful woman, being a man, and just learn a lot. And seems to me that a lot of this stuff was, the divide was becoming more and more narrow, coming together. Somewhere around the 80s, it seems to have started to go this way. And now it's at the point where an owner can make, a couple thousand times what a worker makes, which to me isn't quite fair. And there are a lot of inequities. But it's mostly about the separation and the way we separate from each other, we separate from ourselves. And that's really what the song is about. So it's not political, it's really more social and personal. It's called Before the Separation. It's the title track from my last CD. It goes like this.
Was it an illusion back when I was young, when everyone was living on a promise, in unity and dignity, together we were one, believing in the freedom of a dream. Once upon a great frontier, not so long ago, the hope of man and earth were so connected. This beautiful creation, here to help us grow, is watching as it slowly slips away. On this carousel of madness, on a horse to kingdom come, I see our dreams melting in the sun. Won't you take me back to Eden, to a time when we were one, before all the separation had begun. For the ones who have the money and the many who have none, the great divide grows wider by the moment. Equal opportunity opportunity doesn't mean a lot to the one who has to struggle to get by. On this carousel of madness, on a horse to kingdom come, I see our dreams melting in the sun. Won't you take me back to Eden, to a time when we were one, before the separation had begun? Hiding in our lives, we blindly close our eyes. Safe but not so sound, no freedom to be found, no. Show undying faith, fighting for a cause that I believe in. Tactical delusions lead me not astray, for the voices of the healing will survive. On this carousel of madness, on a horse to kingdom come, I see our dreams melting in the sun. Won't you take me back to Eden, to a time when we were one, before the separation had begun? Oh, won't you take me back to Eden, to a time when we were one, before the separation had begun?
Thank you. And here's another song, this one maybe a little bit more political by nature. I wrote this song with my buddy Tom Prasada Rao, and we wrote this right after 9/11, because I got to thinking. I do a lot of that. Always have. My mother always said, "You're a daydreamer." Recently I said to her, she turns 96 in about a week, and we're going down to Florida. Hope I'm doing as well at 96. Hope I'm doing as well at 76. Not that far away. But anyway, after 9/11, there was a whole different atmosphere. The whole atmosphere of fear and distrust, and it's interesting that the whole thing about the scanning is coming on, which is really, really kind of bizarre. I think that. In Israel, they're certainly worried about terrorists there. They don't have scanners, and they do it very intelligently. They ask questions, and they don't pat down. But some of these new rules are pretty 1984-ish. I don't know if you know about them, but if not, just read about them a little bit. But it's a whole different effect, whole different rules going into effect. And so it kind of takes us back to 2001 and after 9/11, and more things stay the same. So this song is called Stand Up, and that's really what it's about. It's about, I believe that, and I was speaking with somebody earlier about this, that it's really all about information. There's a lot of information out there. There's the right, there's the left, there's the middle, there's the internet, there's, I'd like to say if you're going to listen to an hour of Rush Limbaugh, listen to an hour of Randy Rhoads. If you're going to, read the Wall Street Journal, read the New York Times. If you're going to read, the more conservative newspapers, check out The Nation. But at least get your information from all different sides, a lot of different, and then make a decision. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean, folks?
I'm not quite as fair and balanced as you. I think one side is insane and the other is at least relatively sane if disorganized.
Nice choice of words there, fair and balanced. Look, I'm trying to have an opinion and yet stay energetically neutral. It's not easy, but that's the only way you're gonna, if you come off like this and get in an argument with somebody becomes right and wrong, and so I think it's a question of exchanging views. I really do believe, this is the idealist in me, I really do believe that we have much more in common than we have differences. In all sorts of people, that we all basically want the same things. We all know what love is, we all know what hate is, we all know what pain is, we all know what respect is. And anyway, this song deals with a lot of that stuff, and when I sing stand up, you can answer with, I go, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. You got it. How long?
careful way you try, the whole story ain't nothing but a fraud. One nation divided under God, is he always on our side? Everybody, it's a brand new day. Ain't you tired of the same old way? Paying back and soon you'll find that eye for an eye makes the whole world stand up strong.